a weak move for Kawhi to join LeBron and AD in LA?
Yes, it would. Yes, it would be a weak move. We have to be consistent. We can't sit up there and look at KD going to the Golden State Warriors with 73 wins and what have you, chasing a title, and then ignore that with Kawhi Leonard. Now, here's the difference. Kawhi has 2 rings, so he's not necessarily chasing a ring. But nevertheless, the balance of power conversation is almost identical. Just like KD going to Golden State, joining a 73-9 team, loaded and elite. Clearly, this is different. This is more reminiscent of the move LeBron made to Miami because him, D-Wade, and Chris Bosh hadn't played together. Just like if Kawhi went to L.A., Kawhi, AD, and LeBron would not have played together. But it would so drastically shift the balance of power in the NBA. There would not be a discussion, Max, about who was going to win the title. The Lakers would be the prohibitive favorites. It would almost be unfair against 99% of the league to be on the court against that Lakers squad with those 3. And I think as a result of that, it would be viewed as being incredibly weak. I think that the Clippers would be a more fair move.
So let me get this straight. Mm-hmm. KD didn't play in these finals, correct?
Correct.
Basically not.
Correct.
And
only
which
played 11
team,
minutes.
but they did have Steph.
Right.
And mostly had Clay.
Correct.
And Draymond and Iguodala, right? So it was largely the same cast, even though they're a little older, as the 73-win Warriors.
Okay.
Before they got KD, which was the 73-win Warriors.
Okay.
Would you say that's a powerhouse? Would you say a team like that minus KD, since you're complaining about super duper teams, let's call them? Mm-hmm. That if you peeled KD off, Stephen A., would you agree that that team should be able to fight for a title? That the team, when you peel KD off, should be able to fight for a title? Steph, Clay, Draymond, Iguodala, that's enough to fight?
Yes.
And that's a more fair situation, right?
Yep.
That's a team Kawhi Leonard just beat for the title. Mm-hmm. In other words, Kawhi Leonard, you say he already has the rings, he's not chasing rings. It's not simply an issue of his having rings. Mm-hmm. It's what those rings prove about you that's important. Mm-hmm. You know, players who play in an era with other great players and wind up ringless, they're correctly put below players who have rings. Stockton and Malone and Hornacek with a coach played together forever, ringless. You know why? Mm-hmm. That's because none of them are as good as Hakeem Olajuwon. Mm-hmm. Oh, I know I'm being one of these meathead sports guys who's saying, oh, a ring proves everything. No. That's real. Mm-hmm. When you look at who can elevate a team and take them to a championship. So KD, by going to the Warriors, reverse engineered it all and was like, okay, I got rings, therefore I'm great. No, KD, what did you prove by getting those rings? You couldn't have lost. Kawhi's ring proves, his first one proved he was a good young player, an excellent young player on a championship team, and he guarded the other team's best player. His second ring proved he could take a team over the top and be the best player on a championship team. Why would this be weak to go join the Lakers now? He's proved it already.
Let me help you out with a couple of points. Point number 1, when you're losing your voice, you might want to talk a little bit less until you get some tea, warm your vocal cords, and then get it match ready and all of that stuff, then you'll be all right. That's number 1. There we go. That's number 1. Number 2, you don't get to change the narrative here. What I'm saying to you is that nobody's making the point. Nobody's disagreeing with the point that you made. The point is about right now. I'm not saying that all of a sudden you ignore the 2 titles that Kawhi Leonard has. You ignore the NBA Finals MVP. You ignore what he did with Toronto, against Golden State, against Milwaukee, against Philadelphia in the postseason. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is, as we stand here right now, looking at the landscape of the National Basketball Association, understanding what the greatness that he possesses and how that colliding or combining with LeBron and AD and what kind of impact that would have on the NBA. That's what the move is about. This is not about his legacy. This is not about his credibility as a champion. This is not in any way to question the greatness of Kawhi Leonard. This is simply to make the point that as of next season, if he were to go to the Los Angeles Lakers, you could literally make a legitimate case. Why should we watch basketball next season?
Hold up.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but
that's when I'm talking. When I say weak, what I'm saying is next season you eliminate competition as opposed to confronting it next season. That's what makes it weak.
Fine, I agree. I'm taking the Lakers if he goes to L.A. I think the Sixers would have a shot based if they get out of the East. I think that'd be a really interesting series. I think that the Lakers would be tested by different groups like like Utah and different teams that have come together in the offseason where they've already had a team, they've added one key component.
Stop.
But I do think...
Stop. This is important. I'm sorry. This actually usurps your point because it gets right to the heart of something you've been saying. How does Max Kellerman go from saying a week ago that any team Kawhi goes to, whether he stays in Toronto, whether he goes to the Clippers, they're going to win the championship? But I just told you he would join LeBron and AD.
I just said I'd pick him to win the title.
No. But you said there are teams who would be – so in other words,
so
Kawhi without AD and LeBron, they would be tested. But Kawhi with Toronto or the Clippers is an automatic champion?
The difference is –
How?
The difference is there are only so many minutes a single player can play. And if you lack depth, other teams can compensate for your top-end talent with depth. Although I go with you, top-end talent carries the day. But I want to make this point.
Okay.
Kawhi Leonard, since he's already proved his greatness and his legacy, look, I can take a team to the promised land. This is why it's not a weak move for him. Who did he grow up rooting for?
Lakers.
Where's he from?
Southern California.
He's not allowed, when he's a free agent in his prime, and you just saw he had an injury that could have been catastrophic.
Well,
KD's
I have to
career.
stop you on that, because in an interview they were asked, was he a Lakers fan? And he said, no, I wasn't at all. My family was, but I wasn't. I liked Allen Iverson. I was an AI fan, so I didn't like the Lakers.
I will tell you this, in fairness to you, you're not wrong in terms of what you just quoted him as saying. But the pitch that the Lakers have been telling everybody, and some of the people in the NBA have been telling everybody, is that he's been a Laker fan. That's what they said.
I mean, he definitely said his family
I don't know.
was, for sure.
I never asked him. I don't know.
The point is, he's from the area. Okay, Molly, his family were Lakers
I'm just
fans.
giving you the quotes.
He rooted for Iverson against the Lakers. A lot of people did. Lakers were this powerhouse.
That's true. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.